Hello, my friends, and welcome to Retro Dogfight, the podcast where old guys talk old flight sims. I am your co-host, Brian. Joining me, as always, is your co-host, Chase.
Howdy.
And your co-host, Denny.
Ready for takeoff, sir.
Oh, excuse me. And friends, we are doing something a little different today. I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit and tell you why. We're doing a Q&A episode. This was Denny's idea. I'm going to tell you why it's Denny's idea and why it's a good one. So, friends, as we're recording this, it is December 20th, 2025, 5 days before Christmas. And we've built a runway. We built a little runway. We like having a little runway in case, life happens. Because life does happen, and we like having a little runway. And so, we don't want to miss an episode because we like having this runway we've built up just in case. But we didn't want to have any, let's call it homework. We love doing this, but let's call it homework for the sake of simplicity. We didn't want to do any homework over the holidays because the holidays are crazy. I just last weekend had the craziest company holiday party. We went to Disneyland. I'm still exhausted from it. The holidays are crazy. So we didn't want to do any extra homework, So Denny came up with the idea, let's do a Q&A. Great idea. Fantastic idea. Fabulous. And lo and behold, our community sent us like 36 questions. We have a lot of questions. Some are from multiple people. Some are from the same people. We have multiple questions from the same people, which is fine. But so we're doing a Q&A today for this episode. So it's going to be a little different. We're not focusing on one game today. We're doing a Q&A because it's almost Christmas as we record this, and we wanted to do something a little different. So we have a bunch of questions that the community has sent us. Thank you, community, by the way, for giving us your questions. We really appreciate it. We love you. We really do. You're our friends. We really love you. Thank you so much. Friends, if you haven't joined...
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't love you guys. I like you.
I do.
As friends. As friends, all right?
No, I unabashedly love you. By the way, if you haven't joined our Discord, by the way, it is discord.retrodogfight.com. We have a lovely Discord community that's growing all the time. It's still relatively new, but it's growing all the time. We talk about all the kinds of flight sim stuff. It's great. And that's where we got a lot of these questions. So I use this thing called wheelofnames.com. If you haven't heard of it, it's a really I use it for the other podcasts as well when we need to randomize stuff. You just paste your stuff in as a text-based list, and you just click the spin, and it randomly picks because again, we got a bunch of questions from the same people. I didn't want to I didn't want to, go down 10 questions from one person in a row. That seemed silly. So we have, we're using the, Wheel of Names, which is a great site. Thanks to them. So I'm going to click the wheel.
Is that like the wheel of fish?
Fish. You'll get nothing.
Oh, yeah. Snapper. Very nice.
You'll get. All right. So this is from.
And for those keeping count and doing the drinking game, that is the second UHF reference we've made in our podcast so far.
Has it? When did we make? What was the first one?
Supplies.
Yes. Supplies. Oh, God. Guys, if you haven't seen UHF, it is such... What would your father say if he was alive today? Help me, I can't get out of this box. Anyway, just such a good
You get the drink from the fire hose.
What is your favorite... Okay, this is from Dr. Local. What is your favorite PC joystick for connecting to a game port or USB? Force feedback or not? Well, I'm looking at right now the marvelous Microsoft Sidewinder Force Feedback 2, the finest joystick ever created by God or human, I feel. I have 4 of them because, backups, and I'm weird.
You're bogarting them. You're artificially limiting the supply. Jeez.
Well, sometimes they're cheap. Sometimes you see one on eBay for like $30 and it looks like it's in good condition. Like, yeah, I'm going to get that one. Plus, they're old, even though they're built very well. Sometimes they give out, even because, they're 20. These things are what, made in 2004, 5? They're
25 years old.
Yeah, they're 20 some years old. So They give out sometimes. I've had one. I used to have 5, but one gave out because they're old. But they're still built like tanks. And if you get a game like you play Free Space 2 with this thing, Free Space 2 has directional force feedback with this thing. Holy cats! It is.
See, yeah, that was. I mean, I was gonna say when my turn came up that if it came to just one game, Free Space. Absolute. When the capital ships let loose and you're nearby and that stick basically just jumps off the damn desk.
You feel the flak coming in on the left. Oh, God damn. So that's my favorite. Do you guys have a favorite?
You want to go first or me, Denny?
Oh, go ahead.
Doesn't matter.
It all depends on the era. Okay. In my salad days of the classic flight sims, it would have been the CH Pro with CH throttle combo. I could play that thing like a piano.
If I may interrupt, I have a CH Pro throttle right now. I love it. I love it so much.
It had the rocker on it. It had a rocker, and it had 3. It didn't overload you. Like I bought a Wind Wing here recently. And number one, the damn thing's designed for hands much smaller than mine. So it's like I literally cannot put my hands over it without hitting another button. And it's got like 97. I don't need that many. The CH throttle, the throttle had 3 buttons and a rocker and the throttle. Good there. And on the other side, you had 3 buttons and a hat switch and a trigger. And that is all that God intended us to need. And they were big. They were great. As far as modern, God, the Thrustmaster 16,000. Let's just call it that. I think that's a good combo. It's a good cheap combo. Other than it seems like the stick always seem to die. But as far as favorites, that old CH gear back then, that was it for me.
Oh man, they still make great stuff. CH, they still make great stuff. Good on them.
And it still looks exactly the same as it did in 1992.
Hey,
yeah,
if it ain't broke,
I mean, and we have probably tried. We've all tried SciTech. We've done CH, Logitech. I mean, I'm doing like a Logitech 3D Pro right now because again, I am tired of stretching my brain out over 67 buttons, and I have to whip up a index card with little drawings on it where all the buttons are. So I'm like, this is enough. Plus, if we're going to go with back to classic flight sims, if you're doing like 86 box, the Logitech Flight Stick Pro 3D is all you need because it's got a hat, it's got a throttle on it, and Windows 98 SE to 86 box recognizes them all. So yeah.
Yeah, for classic sims, you don't want a full hot ass setup because it just gets confused by both these controllers.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Denny?
So for me, there have been 3 eras of favorites.
Yeah.
The back in the CGW flight sim columnist days of joystick ports, it was the old CH force feedback.
Yeah.
That one was awesome. Just had a good grip, nicely placed hat switches. That thing with the CH throttle was awesome. Then moving into the USB era, I think this, it was force feedback. The Logitech G940 setup.
Yep.
Yeah. That one was awesome. I had that one so long. And in fact, I did a Brian and bought a spare when they discontinued it. But I eventually had to take alcohol to the handle because it was so old that the rubber started like weeping and becoming sticky. So I had to use alcohol to strip the rubber off the handle grip.
Oh man, I had to do that with one of the sorry to interrupt, with the force feedback I had that failed. It was one of the rubber grippy ones. The second one with the rubber grip, I had to do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, annoying.
Yeah. But nowadays I'm rocking Chase's Nightmare, and I love this setup. I've got the HOTAS Orion
Yeah, Jesus.
Wind Wing. But the awesome thing about it is you can make. I have a better controller than any military pilot has because I have an F-16 stick and an F-18 throttle, which was the way to maximize the number of hats and switches. And so I've got the dual throttle F-18 set up, and then the F-16 stick, which also just has an insane number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hat switches on it.
How many and then how many axes does it have on it, like for trim and stuff? Or is that on the throttle?
No, that's on the throttle. It's got 2 like rockers, and then there's a bunch of like digital dials too.
Yeah.
So, it's cool. However, it also is so dang hard to program in DCS. It pretty much eliminated most of my fleet because I haven't wanted to spend an entire weekend programming it for every plane, and the WindWing software is
God,
some of the most inscrutable software. As someone who works on user interfaces for a living nowadays, I am just appalled that they can ship that thing.
It is true programmer software, right? It is like if you know how to program, and there's absolutely that WindWing software is just, it's dreadful.
Yeah, if you fly one plane in DCS, great, but otherwise. But I just set up the generic axes and use it in Microsoft Flight Simulator and in the more intelligent retro flight sims. But most of my retro flight simming, I have to just disable it on my USB hub and pull out the Xbox controller.
It's like, screw it, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's why I like that's why I really like just as the Logic or the Logitech piece of work, because it just it has just enough buttons for Windows 98.
Yeah. Oh man. Gotta love those old.
There's question 1. That was nice, clear, concise.
Yeah, good one. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go to the next one. What do we got?
Next one, Red Snapper.
Gonna hit Dr. Local again. He came up with a lot.
Yeah, he brought the house.
Who is your favorite Top Gun character and why? Oh boy, I haven't seen Top Gun in a million years. But I always like Goose.
I'll take first on this one.
Go.
Okay. Because I have an answer no one else is going to have.
Go ahead.
It's Viper. Who's
Viper? I don't remember.
Viper was one of the command guys, and he I'm pretty sure he was flying the A4 when Maverick went below the hard deck. But Viper is played by Tom Skerritt.
Yes, I was going to say, I love Tom Skerritt. I love
wonderful guy. So I have a mutual friend with Tom Skerritt.
Oh,
and I have been to a number of Halloween parties, hanging out and talking enraged politics with Tom Skerritt and his wife.
Really? You ever ask him anything about Alien?
It's funny. We don't ever talk movies. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So it's usually just whatever. Not to get political on this podcast, especially with flight sim guys, but whatever certain people who are leading the country have done lately to piss him off. So.
I'm scared. That's awesome.
They are very involved politically. They're very smart people, and they're just wonderful. And he's an amazing actor. So,
I'm always happy to see Tom Skerritt whenever he shows up in anything. Yeah. I loved him in that. I was gonna say Goose, but now I think I might have to say the same guy because he was great in that movie. He was great in Top Gun. I love that guy.
Oh, come on, give Anthony Edwards his credit.
But I love Goose. I was so sad when he died. Spoilers for a 39-year-old movie. Oh God. 39-year-old movie. 86, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I was really sad when Goose died because I really like Goose because I always in any movie or TV show, I always gravitate toward the nice guy because I always want to be the nice guy. I always feel like I am the nice guy. So I always gravitate to it. And he's the nice guy of the movie. He's like the nice guy of the movie. Of course they kill him. Of course they kill the nice guy. Of course they kill the nice guy. So, so I always like Goose. And yeah, Anthony Edwards is great. Anthony Edwards he's always like whenever he shows up, and I'm going through Northern Exposure right now. Side note, and he's just randomly showed up. I'm like, wow, Anthony Edwards.
I'm going to add one thing there too, just so we can try to get this podcast to 4 or 5 hours. I just finished a book by D.D. Smith. It's called Above Average, and he was a Navy pilot in Vietnam, flew Skyhawks. He also was a test pilot on the F-14.
Oh.
And and he was in the flat spin that the spin in the movie is based on. And his Rio actually did hit the canopy on ejection, but he didn't die.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And he actually was knocked unconscious in it and would have died, but he landed on a small island because they were flying over water, and he would have. If he hadn't landed on land, he would have drowned.
Did someone have to drop off a goddamn rescue pod to pick him up?
Yeah, they had to come in a helicopter to get him.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm still bitter.
Anyway, it's a good book. For the love of God, don't listen to it on Audible. It's narrated by AI. It was excruciating.
No.
Well, I'll keep my answer short just to make up for Denny. I did not see the original Top Gun when it came out. My interest in airplanes had nothing to do with it. So I have to move to the second movie, and I will just say Jennifer Connelly. She's my favorite character.
Was she in the second movie? I haven't seen the second movie. I've not.
Yeah, you haven't seen the second movie?
No, was it good?
The second movie's awesome, dude.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I have a weird relationship with sequels. It's like, okay, are they good? I don't know. Is it good yet? I don't know. Okay, I'll figure out the way to see the second one. Because, I mean, you never know with a sequel to a 30, 40-year-old movie. You know what I mean? Be hit or miss.
It is a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
You just basically got to pull out your IQ meter, but
that's good to know.
It's Star Trek 5 level of turn off your brain, but it's it's Star Trek 6 level of fun.
So.
And it has Jennifer Connelly.
I do love
who is my age and is still hot.
Oh, I've had a crush on her since, forever. So yeah. Okay. Wait, have you seen the first Top Gun at this point though? Have you seen it?
Honestly, I've seen bits and pieces. I've had it running like in a.
You're not missing much. You're not missing.
I saw Iron Eagle. Does that count?
I would say
heresy.
You know what? I'd say it's a better movie. I'd say Iron Eagle's a better movie. I would say
Iron Eagle is more fun than Top Gun.
Absolutely. I just think
Iron Gossett Jr., man. Yeah.
I just think Iron Eagle 2 should have been the kid going in front of a congressional committee for the war crimes he committed. I thought that would have been a much more fun movie than whatever the frack Iron Eagle 2 was. Anyway, let's move on to the next question.
Move on.
What an interesting question that was. God, I haven't seen Top Gun in a...
It can't be Lord House or whatever his name is.
All right, now we have a question. Okay, this is a long one. All right. This is from X Battle Station. This is from X Battle Station. Presumably you guys are at least somewhat into planes. What got you into planes in the first place? Parentheses, mine was a combination of visiting my local RAF base's open day each year, and also airfix kits. Okay, what got us into planes? Oh, God.
Mine's easy.
Go ahead.
When I was a young teen, I got an SR-71 model.
Oh.
And I just thought that was so badass. And it had the little was a D1 drone that never was deployed, but I got the Revell. And it was like kind of like the first time I heard Metallica when I was a kid. It changed something in my DNA. And I'm like, I like planes now. So, or finding that Playboy in the top shelf of your dad's drawer or whatever. It was that simple. Somebody got me we had like a little bargain dollar store kind of thing, a weird store. They had different things. And one of the things it had was a Revell SR-71 model. I mean, how could you not?
Yeah, right.
like planes after seeing that.
Still beautiful. I'm still upset that they canned it. So mad.
So mine's easy.
Can't remember.
Standing under a B-52's wing at Fairchild Air Force Base on a Civil Air Command little out thing that I did when I was older. That was kind of cool too.
So I'm going to guess because my grandfather, who I grew up with my grandparents, and he worked at the Philadelphia Naval Yard. And I remember when I was very small, he took me on an aircraft carrier. So I bet you that's where it started. But I can't remember a specific instant. Yeah, I can't remember anything specific. Denny, do you have anything?
Yeah, this one I know.
Okay.
I don't remember this, but I've been told.
Right.
When I was a wee tot, and I mean wee because my parents got divorced when I was 2, my dad used to take me to the local airport, and he would park by the end of the runway, and we would watch the planes take off.
Ooh,
and
that's
whenever
cool.
Like a Cessna or something small came by, my adorable little 18-month-old self would go pipsqueak. So isn't that cute?
That's
so and I didn't even know about this until like my dad told me about it years later. I used to fly to see my dad because aforementioned early divorce. I started flying alone when I was like 3. And so I spent a lot.
Oh, did you get the little wings? I remember that. Yeah, when I was little, I remember getting the wings. Yeah,
yeah, and we were tough kids because when we were little, the wings had pins, and then later on they changed it to a sticker because of safety.
Yeah. No, I got the metal wings.
You can only use them once. Yeah, so
American Airlines.
And one time I was on a layover, and layovers in those days, like an 8-year-old kid was not escorted. You didn't have a flight attendant with you the whole time. They told you what gate to go to, and you went to it. And I'm sitting at this gate, and there was this guy who was an aviation nut, and he saw me interested in planes. And he taught me during that time we were there, like how to identify each plane. If there's 4 engines on the wing, if it's got the little vents up front, it's a DC-8. If it doesn't, and it's got the pitot tube on the tail, it's a 707. How to tell an L-1011 from a DC-10, and like having that knowledge, like I just like doubled it down. Plus, I built lots of model airplanes.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
that's actually kind of that's a good flight origin story as opposed to me and Brian.
I mean, I remember loving planes from a very early age. I just don't know what got me started, but I remember like my whole life just loving planes. I just don't remember what impetus was, but I remember like from a child building models and watching planes on TV and everything. I just don't remember what it was that started the whole nonsense, but I couldn't tell you. All right, spinning the wheel. I wish I knew. This must have been very early. All right. Okay. This is from Spoon Boy. What is your favorite weapon / ordnance to use in a flight sim and why? I'm thinking specific to one weapon game rather than generally. Well, I've got to be honest. My favorite thing is the Durandal. It's the anti-runway weapon, that is in a lot of flight sims. It's the thing that drills into a runway, I don't know why I don't know why that one thing tickles me so much, but it just tickles me. It's just like this very specific one weapon. I love using it so much that it's just very specific design. I just love it so much. What about you guys?
God, that's a weird question. Good one, though.
It's an interesting question. Yeah, I like that question. Yeah, that's a good question.
I thought about this one when I was looking at the questions beforehand, and I mean, I like dogfighting. I get annoyed when I get sent on a ground pounding mission, but so I was like, okay, is it a gun? But I think my favorite is the Sidewinder. Because and the good old classic early AIM 9s where you actually had to like get the heat pipe in the sensor, not these new ones where you look to your left and the missile comes off the rail and just turns. But yeah, no, it could be. I like the Sidewinder because you still have to get into position. It's not it's a
BFM missile.
It's not beyond visual range. So yeah, I think the Sidewinder is the most fun in a flight sim. I don't know that I have a particular game representation of the Sidewinder, but I think I must have fired a few hundred of them easily in the Jane's ATF Navy Fighters series.
God, so many.
Yeah. God, I don't have a favorite. I think ones that maybe just kind of stand out are Mavericks because they're so ubiquitous to every modern sim.
Yeah.
Right. If you need just a fire and forget, right. And God knows how many of those are shot in mud moving. But as far as kind of the most interesting that the kind were our Hellfires in the longbows, because being able to pop up over a hill, put the dot on a bunch of unsuspecting shitheads, and then go back down behind the hill and fire off the missiles and have them go off and do their thing. That always kind of stood out to me. But as far as a favorite that I'm like, oh God, this is just the tightest weapon ever. Nah, not really.
Yeah, I love Durandals. Good.
Durandals are cool. I mean, there's cool weapons that are like, I really can't. It's like, any sim that gives me like a fuel air bomb.
Or cluster bombs. I love cluster bombs.
Yeah, things like that. Just
fun.
The anti CCIP dumb bombs. That nobody likes dumb bombs.
I like dumb bombs. I like dumb bombs.
Dumb bomb, and I hate CCIPing. I think I learned to hate them in Strike Commander. Because you had to like buy your weapons, and you never had the funds or the availability for the good crap, so you were like tasked to do seed with dumb bombs, right? SEAD with dumb bombs, which is just like, really, you're putting me in against these guys because all I can afford are a bunch of GBU 500s, right? So dumb bombs are off the list. That's why I like Mavericks, because you can just sit out there 8 miles out and just rain death.
Yeah. The Mavericks are great in most games. But just taking out a runway with a runway specific, anti-runway specific bomb.
Right? It's like, it's just like, screw you and screw your planes, right? Yeah.
Screw your runway. We're going to drill into your runway and blow it up from underneath.
And blow it up.
And make it really hard to repair. I just love, it's such a petty weapon. It is such a petty weapon. I just love it.
You've got that, and I mean the GUA is always fun.
Oh yeah,
Burt is always fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Burt, and that's. But yeah, that's
use the Burt.
Interesting question, my guy. But I don't have anything. That's like I go into this sim and I go, oh God, this weapon is just awesome. It's just I use what I have.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just always happy to see a Durandal show up. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm always happy to see.
I've always thought it was Durandal, but I have no idea.
I don't know.
I've never heard anyone say it.
I've never heard anyone say it out loud. I am
so not French that I call it Dassault. I always thought that plane company was always called Dassault, and I guess it's actually like Dassault or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, Dassault.
Yeah. I'll ask the
Dassault Mirage.
I'll ask the wife.
Yeah, the Mirage.
Dassault Mirage.
Oui.
I don't think she's here. I'll ask the wife next time I see her. All right, here we go. Spinny. Other Dr. Local.
Oh, hey, I just checked online. And, in English, you are pronouncing it correctly.
You just pronounce it phonetically. Durandal. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Durandal. Oh, actually, it's kind of a combination of both of ours. Durandal.
Okay, so this is from Dr. Local again. He did submit a lot of questions. Do you have a favorite art? Do you have a favorite box art for a retro dogfight game? Well, it's not a dogfight game. It's kind of funny you bring this up because it's going to be the next episode. A10 Tank Killer, the first A10 Tank Killer game, is probably my favorite box art. I have the box behind me. Something about that box art for that first A10 Tank Killer game is just so evocative to me. I don't know what it is about
the early pre-edgy 90s box arts were gorgeous because they were classic.
The
A10's okay. I would pick another dynamic sim over that. AOTP.
Answer.
I figured it was going to be one of the Aces games because those boxes are also beautiful.
Those boxes, they're both gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are art. Those early Dynamix games are art. I had a print
of the Aces of the Pacific cover painting.
Nice.
I wouldn't mind having that. Yeah, like frame that up. That would be because that was a pretty one.
I bet you if you look on eBay, it's out there. I bet you if you look on eBay or Etsy.
I don't know if they sold it or if I got it because that was back in my.
I think you probably got it as a
bribe days.
Yeah, you got it as a Takachki, so you got it as a freebie.
Yeah.
But that's an easy one. Those two boxes, the Aces boxes, were gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, the folks at Dynamix, not only do they make great games, they make great box art. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but for me, A10 Tank Killer. Absolutely. Just, oh my God.
Wow. A dynamic sweep.
Yeah. Dynamics, man. Oh my God.
I'm trying to think of any other box art. I mean, it's just like, it's all pretty functional stuff. You didn't get anything really pretty like those two.
Yeah. I mean, Microprose made not decent boxes. I mean, they made wonderful games, but their boxes never really stuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was very utilitarian.
Yeah, very utilitarian. But Dynamix, they knew. Yeah, they really knew how to catch your eye in those game stores because they had to. There were so many boxes. They really knew how to catch your eye. Because friends, I don't know if you recall, back in the late 80s and 90s, most video game stores had PC games.
Right.
You really had to stick out. All right, I'm spinning the wheel again. Here, we're getting through these. This is great. Dr. Local again. Dr. Local submitted.
Holy cats, man. He likes us.
Questions.
He really, really likes us.
He submitted a lot of questions. What was your first game experience of a multiplayer dog fighting game? Link up, LAN, online. Oh God. Well, I guess for you guys, it was the last game we talked about, Air Warrior, right? I'm guessing that was
last episode.
So
nope.
God, I don't.
Nope.
No,
I have something earlier.
Oh,
nope.
Oh, really?
Yep. Fighter Duel on the Amiga.
Oh God, me too. I forgot that preceded Air Warrior.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
I think it did. Yeah, I ran over that. I knew some guy I met on a BBS, and he was hardcore in it. I brought my Amiga over, and we had null modems, and he had analog joysticks and ports for those to plug in the Amigas. So it was like, that was pretty hardcore.
Yeah, you actually had to have a null modem cable between your serial ports. It was crazy.
Yep.
I actually, side note, I got to fly flight sims with the Blue Angels when I was working.
Nice.
And Fighter Duel 2 was one of the sims that they flew.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to remember what the other one was.
That's weird because you mentioned that now. This probably would have gone good on last week. Is I flew with the Tuskegee Airmen at a place up here in Linwood, played Air Warrior with them. We had a place up here, I think it was called The Other Side. It's been a while. But they were also, I never tried them. They had mech pods.
Oh, I always wanted to do one of those.
Yeah, they had mech pods, and then they had a big, they were kind of like an internet cafe before there was an internet. But yeah, there was I think Kesmai or somebody sponsored having the Tuskegee Airmen on.
That was a great movie. I really love that.
The Denny's fight with Blue Angels and Fighter Duel and
that's very cool. Yeah, it was really funny doing it with the Blue Angels because they were not used to view systems,
Yeah.
And so I was smoking them at the beginning, but they're freaking Blue Angels. So it took about 5 minutes of playing, and they figured out how to use the hat instead of turning their head. And then I was dead meat at that point.
Do you remember? All I can really remember that is it was in the Amiga's higher res modes, so it had less colors. And I think the only feature was that arch. There was like a big arch.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it. That was like you did dogfighting around this big arch. Blocky arch.
It was like one of the first games that like felt, I think it had accelerated stalls, didn't it? Like
it was having to learn. It was hardcore. This guy met up with, he smoked me all the time. I was like kind of cranky about it. Because he was like doing actual pilot shit and I'm, like stumbling around but yeah.
It was 1991 Fighter Duel Corsair versus Zero.
Yep.
Damn.
It's funny when I went out, did a preview of Fighter Duel 2 for CGW, and I remember flying, I think it was maybe Utah. I was going somewhere else, and I contacted with Matt Shaw, who was the designer, and so ended up doing the preview in his home office. So they were a seriously indie developer.
Yeah, they were totally small. This was not a huge. You had to really be into it to even. I mean, Fighter Duel was a box product for the Amiga, but it was like you had to be. That was the rivet head sim of those days. But yeah. That was my first multiplayer fight sim. What about you, Brian? You even ever play? You ever play multiplayer, bro?
Not really. I think I tried World War II online once, and I hated it.
Yeah,
and that might have been it.
There's a lot to hate. Yeah,
I'm not a multiplayer person, really. I never really have been. So I don't really have a good answer for this question. I'm sorry. We're gonna move on because I'm not a multiplayer person. Never really have been. I don't like other people typically. Okay.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a misanthrope. Yeah.
What 3 retro aircraft combat sims would you take to a desert island? Okay.
You knew this somebody's going to give us a desert island.
Okay, so for me, it's going to be F-117, EF-2000, and 1942 Pacific Air. No, Gunship 2000. So EF-2000, Gunship 2000, and F-117. That's going to be it for me. What about you guys?
Mine is going to be TAW, Total Air War.
Mm-hmm. Good.
EAW. For sure.
Right.
God, now the third one. That's because those two right there. What about you, Denny?
So for me, it would be Pacific Air War.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good one.
And a heavily modded version of the early 2000s IL-2 Sturmovik, because there are so many amazing mods that
you know what? Yeah,
that's 1946.
Yeah,
like 1946.
Yeah, 1946. That would work. That would work as my third one.
People are still making mods for that. Have you seen this guy in Spain who's made this like giant mod set? Like mods, I have to send it to you. Like this guy is making crazy mods for 1946 that are just insane. I'll send you guys a link. Crazy. I keep meaning to buy one just to test it out. I'll send you a link. But those are good choices. Those are very good choices.
Yeah, those. Just about all of our picks are like and are just like smorgasbord picks. Jesus, IL-2, you've got everything. EAW, I just love that sim to pieces. It just does the Western Air War so well.
And 1942 will keep you going for years. Total Air War will keep you going for years.
I think it's kind of blasphemy here, but I think the PA flight model is a little overtuned.
Unfair.
You think of planes like doing, it was really hard for me to fight in the vert on 1942, And it doesn't help that I played a lot of the time on the American side, which just, you begin with just the most gutless planes. So you've got this really unforgiving vertical flight model, combined with gutless planes. And it's just, I still love the sim in my memories, but I remember being like trying to fly a P-40 on that thing. I just wanted to throw things.
Oh, for me,
I just love the fact that it had a tactical component too.
The Admiral,
find the Japanese fleet.
Yeah, the Admiral mode. Oh my God, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's why it would be fun to have on a desert island.
Yes, exactly.
Just because there's so much more gameplay in it.
Exactly.
And I will. I didn't do my third one, which I think might surprise you guys. No. My third one is also from the guy who was responsible for EAW, TK Kawahito, and it would be Strike Fighters. The Strike Fighters.
That's kind of. I mean, it is kind of retro. It's 2007.
Close enough.
Look at it, man. It's retro. It qualifies.
Close enough.
It is. I mean, if we're gonna go that. If we're going to go that far, I'll throw Strike Fighters in there to replace Isle 2. EAW does all the stuff that I want because Eastern Front kind of sucks. Yeah.
Strike Fighters is simple, but I love the planes he picked.
Yeah. The 1950s hot rods,
It's the best F8 Crusader sim that you'll find.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because I loved flying the F8 and Navy fighters, but Navy fighters is just so primitive.
This is the only thing the games are fine. They show their EAW pedigree and weaknesses in like the graphic presentation. The planes are kind of like the Hun. You fly the Hun a lot in all the Strike Fighters games, and it's a very timid plane. Where in real life, the real Hun was out to kill you every moment you were in it. The damn thing hated you. Everybody's heard of the saber dance. He put in these early planes, but he didn't put in the idiosyncrasies of these. We're so used to fly-by-wire that they were just figuring crap out back then. The area rule and stuff like that was new, and having to putting the strakes on the wings to prevent when you went supersonic from putting you would never see the F-100 in Strike Fighters go into that sharp yaw coupling when you got its AOA and speed too high. So as far as just like a survey, kick the tires and light the fire sim,
no, it's a fun to fly. It's definitely not a hardcore,
exactly.
realistic,
exactly.
But I think we, except for you, Brian, you picked pretty specific. It's me and Denny picked kind of smorgasbord sims. So I call that because there's just lots of planes and modes. But you like your classics. You like your F-19 and your gunships and.
Yeah, because I think F-117's got so many theaters. I could just play that forever. And Gunship 2000, oh my God, I could play that one forever. And EF 2000, I just love that campaign and that sim.
I could swap TA and EF 2000 both ways. They're interchangeable.
Pretty much. Yeah. All right, here we go. Next question. We're just how long have we been recording? Oh wow. All right.
Have to make this a two-parter.
I wonder. Okay, Ferdub. What are your best or proudest or most cherished moments in flight sims? Ooh.
I mentioned mine last week. I think it's totally not I got this victory, or it's loading up with a bunch of your buddies in Air Warrior with your squaddies in a B-25 and manning all the gunnery stations and just going out and looking for trouble. That just kind of really stood out to me because it was fun, and everybody joking around and everybody reacting to a Death Star being up. That was a lot of fun. I mean, but there's been so many, I think so many memories,
so many good ones. For me, the first time I ever took out the sub pen in F-19 in the North Cape was just such a
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
such an amazing memory that because you had to come in at such a specific angle, take it out. Oh man, yeah,
yeah. I was trying to think of I did a flight of B-25s with escorts in God, what was the sim after Air Warrior? Warbirds.
Warbirds. Yeah. Warbirds. Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever gone onto one of those online sims and there were people who knew aviation and knew World War II history and really wanted to recreate an authentic mission, and it was just a magic night. We had I think like 6 B-25s, and then we had fighter escort, and we coordinated our takeoffs and got into formation and then flew over enemy territory, and like it was so cool.
That's dozens of people. That sounds like dozens. Oh wow. Yeah. That does,
and it's weird. It's weird with all the flight sims I played, and we've all played. It's just like, and me being, I'm kind of like you, Brian, multiplayer. I had, my multiplayer hardcore addiction for about 6 months with Air Warrior and a little bit with Wartbirds, and after that, I can't even recall playing multiplayer after that. But yeah, just that during that one spot, it was just adding all the people in like Denny said, people who knew what they were talking about. Yeah. You were swapping more stories, kind of like we're doing here. A bunch of people with the same mindset and just going out and having fun like that. So
yeah, no, that was super fun. And then I think my favorite single player moment was in F-14 Fleet Defender. You're sent out on an ID mission, and it turns out to be the Ghost Squadron of Avengers that was lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
That is the other Easter egg I always forget about.
Yeah.
There's Godzilla. There's Godzilla, and then I never did that one. Yeah, you can find Godzilla in F-14.
What? Oh, that's kind of adorable.
I'm gonna have to fire up. When does that mission turn up? I'm gonna have to check that out.
You have to fly the unidentified flying object mission on Halloween, I think, if I remember.
Oh damn! I'll set my clock or something.
That's all you do. Such a piece of clock.
That sounds cool.
It was fun, and I did not know what to expect. All I'd heard was like set your date and then go have fun. And I think it's like a 50-50 between it being it's you either hit the Ghost Squadron, which is what I didn't know was coming, or a UFO, which that's what the person told me about it had said it was going to be. So when it turned out to be the Ghost Squadron, I was just tickled. And I think there's also like a 20% chance it's just like a couple of MiG-23s, but
I think as far as single player goes, I think it will. I was in the Navy at the time, so I didn't have a place on shore to live. So when I came ashore, I'd camp out in my mom's place a lot. I think it was when I brought my first 386 home, or my mom's place, set it up on her kitchen counter with the cheapy joystick and played Swaddle and Aces Over the Pacific for the first time on my own 386. Right there. I mean, just that moment where it's like, oh, this is it. I think that stands out as far as single player goes. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Those are the days.
All right. Several more to go.
What do we do? How are we doing on time? We're fine. We're fine.
We're fine.
A little hour and 15 minutes later, and people are listening to the podcast going, wow, okay, these guys can drone.
Looking at the 6th, parentheses, PS2 or Xbox, and 7th generation, parentheses, PSP, PS3 or Xbox 360 home game consoles. Do you have any standout dogfighting simulators that are worth trying? Well, Wings of Steel. Wings of Steel.
There.
Birds of Steel.
Birds of Steel.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the one. I mean, the only downside of that one is that even though it has these amazing dynamic campaigns, you can't save during those. Right.
That's what turned me off on it eventually after playing. It's like, I'm not going to sit here and play this for 6 hours straight.
No, I'm not.
All right.
But it's got so many planes and so many campaigns, and they're wonderful campaigns. I actually let one run once. Like, I was working. I played a mission. I did some work. I played a mission. I did some work. I played a mission, and it was actually great. It was actually great.
Yeah.
I lost the campaign after like 4 hours, but I had a great time, and I was like, okay, that's how that works. I'm not going to do that again, but that's fine, you know. But the fact that you can't save during your campaign, what the hell were they thinking? I don't know.
Yeah, that was brutal.
But
I mean, that's it. That's the one. I mean, there's the one. You know what though? On the PS2,
Tom Clancy's Hawks.
Oh God. The PS2 actually had some pretty trippy. I would say, Ace Combat clones. Like there was like this no name. I can't remember. It's up in a box somewhere in my attic. But there was like this no name, like World War II kind of Ace Combat one that I played the shit out of. That was a lot of fun. I mean, it was literally just an Ace Combat clone with World War II planes and a more of an anime style. But I played the crap. I can't. But that was fun because it wasn't it wasn't this weird. It wasn't Ace Combat. You know, let's load up with 97 missiles. And, you know, that arcade thing, which I never got into. But
wait, there's a couple of good ones on the PS2 called Energy Air Force. I've actually played those. Those I think they might be Japan only, but you can get them on emulation. Those are really good, actually. Those are really, really good. Actually, I've played those via emulation. Those are really, really good. I forgot about those. Those are PS2 only, though. But those are really good.
PS2 was just a monster with titles.
Oh my God.
We will never see its like again.
The best console ever. I'm not even a console person, and I have to admit, best console ever.
Right. Where are you going to get a game like Warship Gunner?
Oh my God! I'm still looking for a copy for that. Like Naval Ops.
I have a copy.
Oh God, I'm jealous. Yeah, Naval Ops, Warship Gunner, whatever it's called. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out for a copy of that.
Where you can build your ships and then take them out and fight them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You just don't. It has nothing to do with Flight Sim. Sorry, folks, I'm rambling. But yeah, the PS2 was. I still have a PS2 up in the closet, and I'm never going to get rid of that thing because I have some games that are just like.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They will never ever make it. They will never ever make games like no one will ever take those kind of risks again.
No.
But as far as the question here, I think we can all agree it was that Birds of Steel or Wings of Steel. I get Wings of Prey. Birds of Steel, Wings of Prey is the PC version.
Birds of Steel is excellent.
Well, and there was also
Energy
Birds
Air Force.
of Birds of Prey on console,
which is not, there was similar, not as good. Apparently, but not as didn't have as much content.
Didn't you do something on the advanced or something?
There's a DS version of IL-2. There's a DS version of IL-2, which is not bad. Oh, there's also Apache Assault by the same people, which isn't terrible.
Yeah.
So there are a few.
Honestly, I worked for Xbox when the 360 was out, and so we had a library, and I could fly any of these. And the biggest Flight Sim fan as I was, I think the only thing I ever played much on console was Ace Combat.
Ace Combat, like like 7. It's one of those things where I'll dip in, right? When I just want to pretend I'm in an F-16 when I'm in an X-wing, right?
Yeah, no, as far as realism goes, it's just stupid. It's worse than the Top Gun movies. Right. But if you just want to shoot a bunch of crap down, and
they're gorgeous. Every Ace Combat has had the best graphics of the generation.
Oh, yeah.
Right up there with the car racers. Like, it seems like the Ace Combats and then some of the car racers they just push graphics amazingly.
Yeah. I never felt like any of the Sims that tried to be real Sims just could pull it off on console.
No.
If you guys want to do some emulation, give the Energy Air Force games. They're actually good.
Yeah, I'll look up the name of the one and I'll paste it in. It wasn't a huge title, and again, it's just an Ace Combat ripoff with World War II planes, but I liked it.
Excuse me. Next question. We can do a part 2 if you guys are worried about time.
I'm not.
Part 2. Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Dr. Local again. My God, he came up with a...
This guy...
Would you consider a YouTube version of the podcast where you show some flight gameplay and high stakes maneuvers? I'm going to say no. Absolutely not. No, sorry. We love you guys, but no. That sounds like work. And
it sounds like I fucking hate also, YouTube.
It would give away the secret that there is a big difference between being knowledgeable about something and being good at it.
Yeah,
right.
No,
people. I know this. I know these Sims backwards and forwards. Jesus, I think Denny, me, and Brian, we're sim gods in terms of knowing this. And like I put on the Discord this morning, I can barely chew bubble gum and walk when it comes to Sims anymore.
Yeah.
I'm old. I don't have that laser focus. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like when I had that CH set up, I could play anything on that thing. I just the view system with the hat and tilting it up 45 degrees, and it's just I am not I am easy meat these days. I mean, it's going back, and I'm like, wow, how did I win these? I'm like, because I was 25 and I had the reflexes of a weasel. So yeah.
Well, I say no, but I just remembered on the other channel, Space Game Junkie, I stream flight sims on Friday mornings. And currently I'm streaming EF2000 on Fridays. Yeah. And you could see my skills on Friday mornings, y'all. And you could see that, not the greatest. Never have been. I've never been the greatest. So you know what?
I don't think I could beat either X-Wing or TIE Fighter again. I don't think I could do it.
I beat TIE Fighter a few years ago. I did it. I still did it. It's great. It's satisfying.
Keeping track of where, how you have to be here at a certain time and then there at a certain time. You got to put your energy up and stuff. And that was easy. I was just like, I was just I had all the macros on my stick and I'm like, okay, here we go. But now I just can't be asked.
So I apologize for the immediate no to your question, but in a way, yes. Yeah. I stream flight sims every Friday. Well, not right now because it's a holiday, but most Fridays I stream flight sims on Space Game Junkie. Currently, as we record this, we're doing EF2000. We'll probably be doing that for a while because we're going to do at least a few campaigns. And I'm going through the training missions right now. But
so there you go. That's that. So it's not a no. It's you're just looking at the wrong place, sir.
Yeah, you're looking at the wrong place. And you're only going to see me. You're only going to see Brian doing the flight sims. And my skills are mediocre at best. I've never been the greatest pilot. But we're going to have fun. That's the joy. That's the point, is we're going to have fun more than anything else. So let's move on to the next question. But the Retro Dogfight people doing a YouTube video? No. Sorry. Dr. Local, once again, you gave us many questions. Oh, here's a fun one. If funds were no issue, what specification vintage computer would you build to enjoy some Retro Dogfight action? Well, we were kind of talking about this before the show started. Absolutely, probably a Pentium 3.
I'd go with the P2300.
P2300. You know what? I had a P2300. No, Pentium 2300, Windows 98 Special Edition.
Yep.
A Matrox 2D card with 3D also, and 2 probably Creative Labs Voodoo 2 cards, SLI, and then you got a Sound Blaster card in there. You got to have a Sound Blaster card in there.
A64,
absolutely.
An A64 with the daughter card. Card.
100%.
Although, wait a minute. Wait. You have a Roland, don't you?
I do.
Don't you have a Roland?
I have 2 Rolands.
Shit, screw it.
I have 2 Rolands.
Yeah, there you go.
But you got to have the Sound Blaster for compatibility. You got to have all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to have the Sound Blaster and the Rolands. I mean, you got to have all of it. You know what I mean? But yes, I have 2 Rolands, if you don't know this, folks, because I'm crazy.
But yeah, the core is going to be, for me, the sweet spot in processor. It's going to be a P2300 with 64 megs. And then and then either an SB16 Pro or an A64, probably an SB16 Pro. Yeah, and then I wouldn't even have a 3D accelerator.
The 16 might be better because I think more games might be compatible with that. So the 16 might be better.
And as far as the 3D accelerator, it all depends. Like if you're going true retro, you can have a Sang Labs 4000, and that's hot enough for your 2D card. But if you're starting from, I would say EF 2000 on, you have to have a glide card. Any glide card.
That's what I would be doing. I would be doing at least I would also be doing mid-late 98.
Yeah.
So I'd have to have a glide card. Excuse me, I would absolutely have to have at least. That's why I would do the Voodoo 2s.
And Denny's probably thinking like a P3 600.
What are you thinking, Denny?
Amiga 4000 with the 386 bridge board.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Terrific. All right. Is that your serious answer, Denny? Amiga 4000?
Yeah, right. I have no desire to ever run QEMM 386 ever again.
There you go.
Okay. This is all right. Pardon me. I'm not sure how to answer this one. This is from X Battle Station. Build your perfect retro flight sim from attributes of existing ones. For example, graphics of Tornado, atmosphere of Swaddle, campaign of Thunderhawk. I don't remember Thunderhawk.
That is so easy for me.
Okay, go ahead.
Strike Fighters 2 with any modern graphic engine. with like DCS graphics. That is all I need. Is Strike Fighters 2 with good graphics and maybe some more goodies, so you're not like always tasked to go out and bomb the same building on all of your things. That's it.
You know what? Give me the accessibility of the Eurofighter from EF 2000 with the full-on wargaming campaign of Falcon 4.0. Give me that.
That would work.
Yeah, give me that. That's what I want.
You did.
I just give me 1942 Pacific Air War with a modern engine, the Microsoft Flight Simulator engine. It kills me that those guys have zero desire to do combat.
Yeah.
God, I know. It kills me.
God, can you imagine having that engine and being able to shoot shit?
Oh,
I mean, that would. I bought an F-86, and it's a nice one.
For 2024
or Blackbird now.
They're Blackbird now. They just came out with an SR-71 too. I'm like, what?
I bought it yesterday. It is so.
Did you buy that?
It looks so nice.
I cannot land it, and I can land anything.
Oh my God! But I just like, you don't see it. You just see the curve of the earth outside your little.
It looks so nice. It looks so nice.
Yeah, the easy mode killed me, and hardcore mode is insane. You can get air shutdowns and
but I mean, do you like setup? Do you like the front end setup to like navigate it and stuff like that?
They did this. They did kind of like what Heat Blur did on the F-14 in DCS. Yeah. You've got a back seater that it simulates, and they consulted with Brian Scholl, who is a guy who wrote a bunch of SR-71 books and was a SR-71 pilot, and his back seater Walt. They consulted with those guys, and so they actually have their voices and their checklists.
That's badass.
I mean, it is ridiculously hardcore. They include the declassified actual SR-71 manuals in the download.
That is a where is your life sim right there. Oh my God.
I might, even though I'm not a fan of 2024, as you know, I might have to buy it just for that.
That is a Switchology fest, I bet.
This would be your only plane for a year, I think, and if you want to try it out.
And the F-86 that they put out was mid Switchology, maybe not as much as the one in DCS.
It kind of makes me sad that they stopped making combat flight sim, because 3 was good. 3, I mean, it was buggy, but it was good. It had a good campaign, and it had a good engine. It was a good game. It was buggy, but it was good. But it came out after the kind of death of the flight sim. So
It came out on the World War II flood. You had Jane's World War II fighters come out, EAW come out, and CFS3 came out.
Yeah,
and I had all three.
And flight sims were already dying. And flight sims were already dying at that point.
And I went back to EAW over those two other two. But the one thing CFS3 we can always have is Wings over Flanders Field.
Yeah, Wings over Flanders Field. Okay, did we all answer that one? I think we all got that one. We all do that one. I think we did.
I don't even remember the question.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's fine. Let's move on. I think we got it.
Oh, it was the what sim?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
What scenario? Oh, X-Battle Station took my question. I'll have to come up with another one. What scenario, mission, or aircraft would you like to see in a sim that hasn't been done yet or hasn't been done well? Okay. Well, this is going to be my question to you guys. No one's made an A1 Sky Raider sim. God damn it. I want an A1 Sky Raider.
Jane's World War II.
I mean, going back
or Jane's
Korea
and
Vietnam. Korea and Vietnam. You could have made a good A1. Anyway, they have an A1. They have an A1 in But I want one solely on the A1. I want to focus on the A1 is what I want. That's what I want.
Anyway. Going back to, again, the frustrating lack of combat in Microsoft Flight Simulator, Miltech released a seriously detailed A1 Sky Raider for Flight Sim a couple weeks ago.
Oh, God damn it.
And it's really, really well done.
God damn
it. Man.
Okay.
But people say for their we get this all the time. We want a Vietnam. As I have gotten older and wiser and read a lot more, I have no desire to go out and bomb trucks that aren't there. I mean the ideal.
That's
the idea. We see the simmers. I'm going to make this blanket assumption for all of you out there that when we say Vietnam War, we want to take up our Phantoms against farmers, right? We don't want to.
Referring, by the way, to the MiG, not actual farmers,
right?
For those who aren't
just to clarify that, right? You have to lead a MiG-19 more than you do a farmer. So that is the scenario, I think, because folks, being tasked to fly out and and bomb essentially empty space. I can no longer get the political side out of it between and actually what was really going on. I mean, it would be hella exciting to go downtown in a 105 dodging Sams, right? In a 105, simmed more than they did in Jane's USAF and what they did in the Vietnam module of the Jane's Navy Fighter series. But to me it's just kind of pointless. I want to see I kind of want to see the hot rods of the 50s more in more detail. Like, even if you have to make something up like Strike Fighters did, but I would like to see the planes that just looked awesome but were total garbage, like the Vigilante and the Banshee and those guys. That's mine, because if you think about it, we pretty much covered everything. Do you guys agree with that? Is there a thing that you want to see, or the only thing we haven't covered are like the early century fighters? A lot of them were boring because all they were like, people say, oh, well, I want a F-102 or 106 simulation. Great. You take off from your Arctic Air Base, you fly to a designated point, you shoot off your 6 crap Falcon missiles, and then you turn around and come home. That's all those planes did.
Yeah, but shooting off the nuke-tipped Falcons would be fun.
The Genie, shooting off a Genie would be a blast, literally.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but that question is just kind of, we've covered everything. It's just some conflicts need to be covered better than others.
What's never been covered, and what I would love to see is a simulation. If I ever win $1 billion, I will develop this after I make my Baba Black Sheep sim. But Cold War Gone Hot late 50s.
Yeah.
So the planes you were talking about, like,
Okay.
I want to take off in an armed F-40 Skyray and see a squadron of B-36s flying over, B-47s. Like, that would be so.
That would be cool. Those old, the hot rods of the 50s, or the the Saber Dog, the F-86 that had the 20 mics in them, and all the rest of the advantages. Right. And an accurate Hun simulation, or being able to, like seeing the C-47s or the Hustlers going over. Right. This is definite. I mean, this is before all of our times on that, but we have not touched those. I mean, the VR Dawn of Jets kind of does, but it's a pretty light core sim. It does like the Cougar and the Panther and stuff like that. But yeah. Going up against late model 15s, or planes that have never been touched are the Soviet interceptors, right? We're always flying against like the 15s and the 1917s. When's the last time you saw an Su-7 in a sim, or an Su-9 or an Su-15? Going up against the Soviet point interceptors, their versions of the 2 and the 6, right?
You know what else would be fun, I think, is anti-submarine airplanes. I think that would be fun. I wouldn't.
A full-on switchology one. Didn't Dangerous Waters kind of do that?
A little bit, but it was kind of there a little bit, but it wasn't like there wasn't much of it. It was there a little bit, but it was not really.
I thought you could like fly the Orion in that, but I might be mistaken.
I think so, but like it wasn't a full-on thing. Anyway, so how are we looking on time, guys? We still have a lot of questions.
Yeah, well, let's burn through them.
Okay.
Or how about mid-70s Cold War gone hot?
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Aardvarks.
Dr. Local. Okay. Would you consider a collaboration with the DOS Game Club podcast?
Those dirty bastards?
I know.
No.
I don't know. I've been on that show twice. I mean, I don't know how that would work.
Do they have a Discord? I thought
they haven't. They have an IRC. I'm not even kidding. They have a literal IRC. I'm not even kidding you. They're running an IRC.
That is awesome.
They're seriously running. They have a forum. They actually do have a forum, but they also have an IRC. I'm not kidding you. I've asked them about a Discord. They're like, nope. I'm like, okay, sure.
Wow, they're running. So they're MIRC clients and stuff like that. Yeah,
kind of, sort of. Like, that's why I never go on it. I forget about it. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do one.
I forgot that IRC existed.
It's still around. It's still around, believe it or not. And they're using one. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Sure. I remember when there used to be a 2:45 IRC way back when.
I know. Wow. That was so long ago.
I think we're pretty damn easy though. If anybody wants to join, have like a super episode, where we just sit around and jaw.
I'm not against it. I just don't know how it would work, and they don't do flight sims very often. That's the thing.
Oh well, then
I've suggested a couple, but I think they've done like one, maybe two.
Yeah. So
If they do another one, I'll mention it. I think
flight sims. Yeah.
You know what? I think they're going to do Stunt Island next year, so maybe I'll mention it with that, because Stunt Island is great. So maybe I'll mention it when they get around to doing that one. I think they're going to do Stunt Island next year. They're going to do TIE Fighter next year.
I'm totally open to it as long as it pays as well as this podcast.
Yeah, no kidding. You're right.
All right, so we're not a no, but we got to logistically figure that one out.
Got bills to pay, miles to feed.
Got to logistically figure that one out.
There's another cat out there.
Tupo. How much does the choice of aircraft or time period affect your interest in selecting a flight simulator? Well, for me, I'm a jet and helicopter guy. I'm less interested in the prop stuff. World War I, World War II. I'm not as interested in those things. I'm more, like I said, jets and helicopters. I'll play them, but I much lean more toward jets and helicopters. How about you guys?
I'm a slut. I like them all. except for helicopters. I've already mentioned that before, so I won't go into that. I'm not a big whirlybird fan. God never intended for something without forward thrust to fly.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with Chase. My favorite era is Korea, like that the 50s jets fighting against prop planes. Like I think that's the most attractive thing, and it hasn't been done well. But pretty much everything except I think the only helicopter sim that I ever really enjoyed was Longbow 2. So.
Yeah, I like Longbow. Just because it was done so damn well that even though
that was like the ultimate in flight sim,
right? Even though,
still so mad.
We've gone in. Andy's no, I don't feel bad for Andy at all. Andy's happy. He did his race. He went and it's just like how Travis Baldtree got tired of developing games, and now he's winning Hugo and Nebula awards for being a writer. So I don't feel bad for those guys at all.
He made it through the minefield, but my God, okay.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Still have several Dr. Local questions. What was your most immersive mission in a sim? I think we kind of covered this already.
Yeah, I think that would be, unless you want to answer it, Denny. Is there like a mission that stands out?
I think the one that stood out was the one I mentioned, the UFO one.
I think we kind of did that. I didn't notice that was kind of a double, so we'll just move on. Interest of time. Sorry, man. We'll
let management know.
In terms of earlier flight sims, which did you prefer? 3D polygons like F-15-2 or sprites like Swaddle? I think I preferred polygons, honestly.
Polygons.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't nothing against sprites, but I think polygons made it feel like a more fleshed out world to me, personally.
I mean, I feel like that question is sort of along the lines of, what do you prefer, being struck with a belt or eating cookies?
Damn.
Right.
Damn.
I'm with it. I mean, it's like, the 3D graphics are what drew me into Sims. I've already mentioned that, that going on.
Damn.
Because they pushed, flight sims pushed early 3D. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah, sprites. I mean, if you do them well and splurge on them, and you have an incredible game built around them, like Swaddle, that's the only thing. That's it.
This is Doc Lice. Okay, what is your quote unquote sweet spot that looks good enough, plays great, modern enough graphics, but still retains that excellent single player immersive gameplay and a kick-ass paper manual like Falcon 4 or Free Space? That game that you can eventually play forever despite some limitations of the time. Okay, well, for me, it's EF2000. Plays great, good enough, modern enough graphics, retains single-player immersive gameplay. Yeah, I mean, I think we all have given our answer kind of before.
Well, I'd revisit that question because it's a sim that I'm like, oh my God, why did I forget that one? On our 3 desert island sims, I would probably, I would keep EAW.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep TAW, but I would definitely throw Falcon 4 in there. Just because of that campaign.
It is a wonderful campaign. Still one of the best.
Yeah.
Still one of the best.
I think we kind of overlooked F4 there, which to its sadness. But F4, 1.08 with maybe one of the Allied Force. That's all you need. Now, I would say Allied Force. Allied Force is.
I still haven't played Allied Force. I still haven't played that one.
It's great. It's fine. It's a mostly fixed Falcon.
Okay, I should.
It definitely does not have none of the switchology of BMS, which I've already gone into that, and it doesn't have a lot of the campaign improvements and everything. It is what Falcon 4 should have been in 1999.
Maybe I'll seek out a copy then.
But I think that'd be, as far as like for one I never play. I would say that the graphics are good enough.
Yeah.
Right. The flight model's good enough. It's got that amazing campaign. It's got a big, thick binder. Sure. Why not? Let's call that a sweet spot. as far as classic Sims and Switchology, presentation, etc. go. It's not the sim I played the most or even play anymore, but in the sweet spot, that would be it for me. What about you guys? You said EF 2000.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Which is a good pick. What about you, Denny?
Probably Jane's World War II fighters.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
with that,
God, I love that one.
Carpet terrain and
it's so good.
But at least
it have a campaign.
It had
so
like
good.
full 3D planes.
It did.
Models were good for the day.
They were good.
Yeah.
It also had a lot of. It carried, which one of the things that I really miss from like the old Jane's naval fighter is like the windows that you could open up.
Yeah.
Didn't Jane's also have like the little mini windows you could open up showing things?
I love that about you. The Fighters Anthology series is the little windows you could put on the bottom. It wasn't a bad sim, but it is not my Western theater. It's like EAW smothered that in the cradle. Fair enough.
Yeah, I like World War II was the era, and IL-2 was just so soulless.
Yeah, it really was.
Its presentation is good. Yeah,
yeah. They had Bud Anderson, World War II ace, as a consultant on it. And,
wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I got to meet him and talk about it. It was very cool, and it was so funny how diplomatically he answered. I'm really lending my name to this, and I told him some stories, but I don't really know this flight sim stuff. Just a really, really nice guy.
I think though, as far as you're a little earlier on your presentation and stuff, but me and Danny are kind of in the same area. The presentation technology was roughly the same. Some switchology there, but the sweet spot for the Sims was 98 to 99.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when everything really slammed. Okay, almost done. We got 3 left. Then we get to do ours.
3 left. Oh, wow!
We're getting through it.
Yeah. Dr. Local. Which Retro Dogfight game, in your opinion, does the best job of bridging the imagination gap?
EAW.
Gonna probably have
EAW for me.
EF 2000 again for me. For me again. EF 2000.
That is, that's the key. That is what it boils down to. Which one lives in your imagination? In EAW, it was enough that the presentation was good enough, the switchology was good enough, systems, but being able to really, for the first time, go up with you were in a squadron of Mustangs or Thunderbolts or Jugs, and you were protecting large gaggles of B-17s.
Yeah.
And they were calling out. Swaddle kind of did it, but was much smaller scale. But EAW, you had the full meal deal there, and that felt like it was easiest to imagine there. That and Falcon 4 again, just because of the campaign.
Yeah. Denny, what about you?
I'll agree. I think I liked Pacific Air War better because I like those planes in that theater. But as far as just sim design goes and stuff, EAW nailed it.
Such a good game
because it was essentially the 2.0 version of that.
So. PAW, yeah. Can you imagine if we had a PAW 2.0?
Oh God!
Just being able to fly Zeeks. I love the Zeke. That was my plane in Air Warrior because I love to turn fight.
Okay, this is from DT Frank 1. What games have the best or most realistic or most enjoyable dynamic campaigns? This is 2 parts. Let's start with that. Falcon 4, obviously.
Yeah, F4 is the king of the hill.
With the Wings games, Wings over Flanders Fields and Wings over the Reich, those campaigns are astounding.
EF 2000.
EF 2000
has a good campaign.
Total Air War. Well, that kind of answer
does not have a good campaign.
It doesn't. Well, that also answered part of his second question. What current games, still capture that dynamic campaign spirit. So Wings Over Flanders Fields.
Yeah.
So
they're all mods for 1999 games.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
But they're good
Right?
mods.
BMS.
Yeah. But yeah, the latest version of Falcon, the Combat Flight Sim 3 mods. Yep.
Yeah. I like the campaigns for the two IF, the interactive Magic games, IF 22 and IF 18. I thought those were great. Say what you want about the Sims. The campaigns were great, I thought. I really love those campaigns.
I gotta go with the majority here. Like Denny said, it's mods for 1999 Sims, BMS. There hasn't been, just other than WAF, which is really built on Red Baron 2, because I think I mentioned probably before about how WAF is built by two hardcore Red Baron 2 modders.
I thought that was built on Combat Flight Simulator 3.
No, as far as the campaign design, is really similar to Red Baron 2.
Right.
They took a lot of their campaign design from that. Yeah.
Right.
Because they were heavy duty modders. Isn't that, just as an aside, that is amazing. Guys that were modding 30 years ago,
still doing it.
Took another sim and rebuilt it, and have been literally working on WAF for what now? Almost 20 years? 15, 20 years?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games that have good dynamic campaigns, because there are some others.
I have no problem with like what Andy Hollis called a smoke and mirrors campaign, like in Longbow 2.
Yeah,
I also
more of a branch.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with marching front campaigns like Strike Fighter does. You win, you march the campaign a little further out.
Or the Enemy Engaged. I think the Enemy Engaged series.
Enemy Engaged had a good campaign. Yeah, that was a big point of theirs
Joint
too.
Strike Fighters. That had a decent campaign, if I recall correctly.
Bob 2 once it was fixed.
Yeah. Bob 2 had a very good dynamic campaign. That's true. Oh God.
Yeah. No, I think my favorite was the Jane's scheme that they used in Longbow, and it was a scripted campaign, but it was branching. It was branching, and there was some level of like randomness depending on how you perform. So it would feel fresh, but the depth of those scripted missions and you just don't get that in a dynamic campaign. Maybe a few more years from now, when AI ruins everything, they could add that level of detail with AI, but it's just.
When you've got
just more engaging. I'm still so sad. Brian will tease later what we're doing next month, but I was one of the only human beings outside of Jane's to see Jane's A10 in development. And
I'm looking forward to that.
We would have had a fixed wing sim with a longbow level campaign. Would have been so good.
Let's not forget Tornado, by the way. Tornado has excellent dynamic campaign.
If you were a planner, I never got into Tornado because I'm just not into mission planning. I like the staff we need to put the waypoints out there for me.
They really are excellent. There are a lot of good ones.
We got 2 to go.
No, we have 1 to go.
1 to go.
1 to go. You don't even need to spin the wheel, do you?
No, this is the last one. That's Dr. Local. Any memories of the History Channel's 2 seasons of Dogfights? No.
Yes.
I never watched it.
Yes.
Never watched it. Go ahead.
I watched a Vietnam one, and it was a Phantom versus a 21. And I just remember that it was not a boom and zoom. It was a straight up, hair on fire, claws out, turn fight, scissoring fight all the way down to the deck. Like the type of fight you did not want to get into when you were in a Phantom. And he won. And that is the only one I remember. just because I had actually sat down and watched it as opposed to like running it on in the background. I'm like, this was pretty badass. Yeah, but it was a fight. It was a 21 versus a Phantom. And it was not an energy fight. It was an old fashioned let's scissor and get slow and low.
I thought you were going to go Boondock Saints on me for a second. It was
right.
a fire.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So, friends, we said we were going to end by asking the three of us each other a question. And I thought of one. Have you guys thought of one yet? Because I did think of one.
I have one. I have an easy one.
I had to redo mine because a couple times
I had to redo mine as well. I'll start.
Mine doesn't even have to do. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I'll start. What is the biggest thing you miss about video gaming from the 80s and 90s? And my biggest thing I miss from the 80s and 90s is walking into a video game store and just being able not only to see all those PC game boxes on the shelves, being able to pick them up, hold them, to look at the back, to feel the weight in your hand. And the weirdest thing is to smell them. Smell that cardboard. You know what I mean? Those game stores had a specific smell. All that cardboard and plastic.
Yeah, they did. And sweaty gamers.
Yeah, but I miss the feel of those boxes, the
physical feeling. Yeah, bringing them home and stacking them on your shelf, putting all the Jane's boxes next. Well, Denny already does that. Yeah, he's already got. I think he's got all this in.
I'm recollecting a lot of these old boxes, but I just miss going into those stores and perusing the shelves and picking them up, holding them in my hand, that weight, the smell, the feel of them. Oh, I miss going into electronics boutique, into a Babbage's, into an Egghead, into a Software Etc., whatever it was in your area. That just, I just miss that. I miss that so much. What about you guys? What do you guys miss most?
Do you remember discovering a game on a shelf?
Yeah.
As opposed to seeing web teasers about it for 3 years before
Hard War. I walked into electronics boutique.
Jagged Alliance.
Hard War for the first time, $13, bought it on site. Just Jagged Alliance. Yeah. Boom.
$20. Yeah.
Boom.
And I was like, I brought that home, and because it was just kind of that time where it's like, I don't have any games, and so I wandered through, and as Jagged Alliance said this, and then bringing that home, and it was like, oh my God, this is the best $20 I have ever spent.
Temple of Apshai, the only game that ever used my 16K expander or my wait, it was the one that preceded. It wasn't even Temple of Apshai. It was another Epix one.
Was it Rogue?
No, it was Rogue. The game basically was Rogue, but it had a different name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. It was like finding that and seeing this game on tape that required a 16K expander. And then I copied it to floppy disk, and wow. Load and save.
I think what I miss from the 80s and 90s is because things were moving so fast that when you brought a new sim home, there was going to be something new and interesting in it in terms of presentation. It was like you started with sprites, but then you got and then it's like there was something new that you were not going backwards in terms of development. They were trying all sorts of new things, and you knew that when you brought a new sim home, most of the time you were going to get something new and cool. Yeah. Whether it be graphics or a new fidelity or more planes on the screens at once, and we don't get that. We don't get that anymore. You don't when you buy. Well, if you're buying the sim, you pretty much know what you're going to get. There's nothing going to be in there that's going to blow you away. At least that's a feeling. I could see DCS guys going well, dude, you've never bought a full functionality. It's just that switchology doesn't blow me away. It's busy work to me. And I get all the switchology I want just out of 2 modules. I don't need any more. So when I buy a new module, I know I'm not going to get anything, I'm not going to get some new explosive kind of graphic or a new campaign, just something I've never seen before. So I think it's just that it was an unexplored territory where now it's thoroughly explored.
Yeah. Sword of Fargle, by the way.
Sword of Fargle. Yes.
That was the game. Yep.
Epic's titles for 500. Summer Games, best Epic's game ever. Just saying. What about you, Denny?
What do I miss about?
What do you miss from the 80s and 90s?
Oh man, it was flight sims that were about, and I've talked about this before on this, but it was flight sims that were about the pilot experience and not about the switchology.
Yeah. Because of the limitations, that old saying that the best art is created, out of the difficulty of the materials.
Yeah.
The limitations we couldn't throw, we couldn't throw 50 million polygons on the screen every microsecond. So you had to make up for it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Knowing that,
discovering, I think it was EAW. I was flying back from a mission and I saw a B-17 being jumped by a 109. And that's the kind of thing that happened in World War II.
Right.
And that is so much more interesting than GPS lobbing a bomb from 20,000 feet.
Right. Sending an LGB down a smokestack. Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing that was great about 80s and 90s sims is that you knew that when you bought a sim, you got a nice new book to read. You got a book, folks.
Yep.
And let me tell you, if you were poor like I was and you're on the bus, man, you whip out that big old thick manual and you got a free book, sometimes two, with every new sim you bought.
Oh man, I was muted there for a guy. I accidentally hit the mute thing. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, we didn't notice, Brian. Yeah.
All right. I think you guys answered mine. So who wants to go next with their question?
I will, just because I'm sorry. I don't have a question for you, Brian. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can you tell us, Denny, about the F-15 ride? Was it cool?
Oh my God. Yeah, it was so awesome. So I was working for Omni magazine at the time. It was a science and science fiction magazine. Sitting at my desk and I get a call. This is Lieutenant so-and-so from the public affairs office at Tyndall Air Force Base. And we're just wondering if anyone in your magazine would be interested in a ride in an F-15. I'm immediately thinking, which one of my asshole friends is this? Because this cannot be a real thing. And so I just kept talking to him and I realized, oh, wow, this is a real thing. So I'm like, yeah, I think we can find an angle on this. And hung up the phone, went into my editor's office and said, why do we need coverage of an F-15 in a science magazine? Let's sit down and figure this out. And the funny thing is the reason that they they were taking people up was they were trying to get Air Force was trying to get funding for the F-22. So they put me in this amazingly impressive Mach 2 fighter to tell me how bad it is.
This thing sucks so bad.
I dutifully broadcast their message, but I may have been a little insincere. No. Yeah, it was.
Did they pull any G's on you? Or?
Oh Lord, yeah. So we the prep for the flight, we had to do ejection seat training and parachute steering training. And then I had to go to the flight doctor to get approved for the flight. And he's like, your blood pressure is elevated. Your heart rate's elevated. And I'm like, dude, I just learned what's going to happen if the rocket under my butt blows me through the canopy and I have to learn how to use a parachute in real time. Yes, my heart rate's elevated. I went to get a scope patch, anti-air sickness patch yesterday. Mm-hmm. Here's the results from my doctor's visit yesterday. And he looked at those and signed me off. No, we took off. My pilot was a Lieutenant Simpson. He was a RAF Tornado pilot on exchange. And we took off, went down the runway, and went straight up.
Nice.
Literally just afterburner vertical to 10,000 feet in seconds. Then we did some base BFM with him flying against another F-15 that had the local weather guy in it. And the weather guy had the ego of a local TV weatherman,
Right?
Thought he was hot shit. And
Groundhog Day guy, yeah.
So we did BFM. I got to fly the thing. I did not do a loop. I didn't feel I was up that. I did a roll, and that was so cool. But then we land, and the weather guy's like, yeah, it was so awesome. Yeah, we pulled 6.1 G's. I almost passed out. And I'm like, yeah, I was starting to gray out at 6.1 on our way to 7.8, which is what we pulled. It was just nice to show him up.
Right.
It was one of the most nauseating experiences I've ever had.
Oh.
If I could go back in time and tell myself one thing, it would have been to just pull the barf bag out and throw up instead of feeling like I was going to the whole flight.
Oh,
yeah.
And the funny thing is like people, something you don't get in the flight sim experience. If you're in a 2-seat plane, all you hear is the other pilot who's got a microphone in his mask going.
Oh God!
Like that does not help the nausea.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear that. Oh God!
Yeah, but the funny thing is like we did rolls, we did high G turns. The scariest part was just flying formation close with the other F-15.
Oh, that would freak me out so much. It's like we gotta hit him. We gotta hit him. Oh God!
As long as the B-17.
And flying tennis court.
Plane, huge plane flying next to you, and like a little bit of turbulence.
Oh God!
Yeah,
God!
You just feel like,
we gotta hit him. We gotta hit him. It's right there. We gotta hit him. Oh God!
It was absolutely an amazing experience.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And funny, the angle that we found to get it into the magazine was flight sims.
Of course,
there was a place in California, Fighter Town, that had full cockpit flight simulators.
Oh, perfect.
And they had Corsairs and they had jets, and they had just launched. And so I went out and did a report on that, and then I did
versus the thing. Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
So
great question, Chase. Great question. All right.
Okay, so my question for you guys is, you are just decide if some billionaire just decides you're awesome and they want to make you happy, and you have a discussion with them, and what it comes out is that they want to fund you designing a flight sim. What plane? What era, and describe the campaign.
Mine's easy.
Okay.
I would want EAW with a dynamic campaign and modern graphics. That would be or even a Strike Fighters with modern graphics. I'm simple. I love to me the perfect sims have pretty much already been made. They just need to be updated.
So what plane, Chase? If you can't do a certain,
if I had a plane, if I one plane, I like the Lightning.
Good
choice.
I like the P-38.
God,
because you don't have to worry about convergence. All the guns are just.
Yep.
I would honestly,
and you got a spare engine
because the A10, and we're doing that next month. The A10 is my favorite plane of all time. I would want to do a Cold War gone hot. Late 70s, early 80s, Europe, Cold War gone hot.
Pull the gap.
Yeah.
Pull the gap.
Full dynamic campaign. Germany, Russia type of thing. Where we do close air support, all kinds of loitering nonsense in Europe with the A10, what it was built for. Basically, all kinds of taking out tanks and whatnot. I want a sim doing that. Basically, I want a sim where we do what the A10 was built for, with the dynamic.
An A10 in a high threat Warsaw Pact environment.
Absolutely, that's what I want. That's what I want. What about you, Denny?
I think it would be to finish a sim that Dynamix started and never finished.
Ooh.
They were going to do a post World War II. What if we hadn't dropped the bomb and the war kept going? And all of those,
I remember that.
AOTP 1946.
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. They were going to do a full on sim. That had it wasn't just
like
that
the Bearcat and
yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn.
Yeah, because
I
remember
in combat
having a discussion with the designer, trying to convince him to put the Ryan Fireball in it.
The Fireball and the Tiger Cat and the Bearcat.
Yeah, and he's like, oh man, then we'd have to simulate a jet and a prop in the same plane. And I'm like, yeah, but how cool would that be?
That'd be amazing.
So anyway, that never happened. I that's the most disappointing sim cancellation ever, and I just would have loved to.
Was it Dynamix? I was gonna do?
It was Dynamix, yeah.
Oh, that would have been great. Oh, it's crushing.
Yep.
Great.
Like Desert Aces, everybody was Aces over the. I was not really looking forward to that, so I was not really sad when that was canceled. You know, I want to fly. I don't want to fly a bunch of beat up Kitty Hawks against a bunch of Italian garbage and a bunch of beat up emals. You know,
I forgot about that one. I had a beta of that.
Did you?
Wow.
I wish I still had that, man. Yeah.
Damn,
dude, if you still had that,
God, that'd be a museum piece. I think that's everything, guys. Did we get everything?
I think it's about the longest one we've done too. So you get a Christmas bonus.
Almost,
the listeners do.
This is almost 2 hours, you guys.
Thank you, all of you who've stuck around through all of this.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who submitted questions. We got a lot of great questions. Sorry for those who we kind of blew by and who kind of had duplicates. Sorry about that. But we had a lot of great questions. Thank you so much. So next month, we've hinted at it. We're going to do the A10 Tank Killer series from the aforementioned Dynamix, the 1989 A10 Tank Killer, and I believe 1996 Silent Thunder. I can't hear the
There's
word.
An oxymoron.
I can't hear the word. I can't hear the word thunder without hearing it from Andre Brower from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Or Tropic Thunder. Yeah.
Silent Thunder, which is hilarious. Yes. A10 Tank Killer 2. So we're going to talk about both of those games next time. So friends, thank you so much for listening. And for hanging out with us. This is a long one, but if you made it this far, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And don't forget to check your 6. I'm babbling. We got to go. Have a great one. I'm losing my mind. It's almost dinner time. We've never done a podcast this late, everybody. Late in the day. I mean, have a wonderful time, everyone. And we'll see you next time. Check your 6. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.